You're still watching where it's now worldwide Howl at the Moon Night is on October 26th. It is not just about having your fill of unwavering goose flesh. It is also associated with animal welfare, specifically that of the wolf and the non-domesticated defender of the wild. It creates awareness about groups that work with wolf conservation, but it also about people, groups of people howling at the moon, with cities in the US creating fun events where people belt it out to the full moon. Oh, that's how you howl.
Noted.
I was reading this one, taking no day. You know, people are associating it with Halloween, but it's not so much of Halloween. But you know, it just reminded me of all those vampire and werewolf movies.
That's it.
My sister used to love werewolf and vampire movies.
I love it.
How do you love blood?
I love it. I love vampire movies.
I used to. I think I've moved on.
You evolved.
I've grown.
I still love vampire movies. Trust me.
You know why you like vampire movies?
Why?
Because they are ageless. You know they are flawless. They have flawless skin.
That's why.
I think
because
that's
they're
why
immortal.
It started breeding some ideologies that were not real, and I had to come to terms with reality.
What if there's any possibility that what you see is actually the reality and what you think is reality is actually an illusion?
That's a conversation for another day.
I agree.
Okay, so who are we starting with?
Okay.
Let me start with Uti. Uti, are you going to be howling tonight?
Absolutely not. Like, I mean, that there's really something out there for everyone. That's the way I'll put it, because I'm like, the worldwide howl. So somebody's going to go outside and
As in,
that's how you howl.
what if you turn into a werewolf or something in the process? Just kidding.
Well, let's wait and see. You know, this is Nigeria. Anything can happen.
Anything is possible. All right, so what did you find for us in the news, Uti?
So my headline says, Sanwoolu commends EdoBEST, urges state to embrace digital teaching. So I think this stood out to me because we spoke to Uki last week. So yeah, or Yuki, I should get that right.
Yeah,
so
Uki.
It's a good story for us just because it speaks to Lagos State government, or the governor of Lagos State, urging other states in the country to embrace digital teaching. So I found out an interesting statistic on Friday that in all our universities combined, there are only about 2 million students. So that's just 1% of the population. So when we think about it, even when we talk about all the other lapses and just the inadequacy of the education sector. So the fact that technology can help us to close that gap. So the EdoBEST in Edo State basically is a program that the government is running there to leverage digital technology to be able to train children. And then Lagos State launched their version, which is Eco Excel, in January 2020. So this is just Governor Sanwoolu calling on other states to embrace this digital technology to try and improve what is happening in the education sector.
Fantastic. Good news for them. All right, so I'll come to you, Milola.
What I have in the news is as regards election, and it's in reaction to what broke in social media about the Anambra polls. INEC denies mass resignation of ad-hoc officials, and this is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, says it has adequate manpower for the conduct of November 6th governorship election in Anambra. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Anambra State, Onwachukwu Orji, disclosed this in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Tuesday in Akwa. Orji, who was reacting to viral media reports that hundreds of ad hoc workers recruited for the election resigned en masse, said there was no truth in the publication. He actually said INEC is still in the process of recruiting the ad hoc workers. In fact, we just concluded the last training before this false report. So he's coming out to debunk the fact that they have it under lock and key, and there is no worries around the fact that some ad hoc members have resigned, that they are fully ready and fully prepared to conduct the election come January next year.
Okay. We will be waiting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
How about you?
I think Anambra State is taking the lead this
okay.
evening, because my story is a continuation of Milola's story, and this time it has to do with security in Anambra State. So the Inspector General of Police, Baba Usman, ahead of the elections that are to take place November 6th this year, was talking about a major overhaul of the security architecture in the state. So he's consequently dispatched the Deputy General. What caught my attention was actually the headline that said IGP deploys DIG, 5 AIGs and 14 Commissioner of Police with regards these elections. So he has decided to dispatch Deputy Inspector Generals of Police, Force, Criminal Investigations and Intelligence Department. Joseph Ebunike is the coordinator of election security in the state, and he is assisted by seasoned strategic commanders from the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police and above for effective supervision and security personnel of operations during the elections. So the commanders include 5 Assistant Inspector Generals of Police, 14 Commissioners of Police, 31 Deputy Commissioners of Police, and 48 ACPs for this particular election.
Just one election.
Just one election.
So if we are doing nationwide election, what then happens?
Would they have enough manpower to go around to monitor and ensure
that was what caught my
security?
attention, because this is elections and we're
No,
deploying.
but you know there's been a lot of security challenges in Anambra
I'm aware.
State. That was where the late Dora Queenly's husband
was murdered, yes.
So, there's been so many
Absolutely,
issues.
and I
again,
agree.
Don't forget that IPOB is threatening that Nnamdi Kanu, if he's not released, that state will not, the elections will not hold.
So while I agree on that, I was wondering if we had to wait for an elections to realize that there is a security breach in the state, to have started something or started doing something before now. Why is it now during it's a very serious event that is coming up. But apart from the event, if that event wasn't taking place, the lives and properties of the indigenes of Anambra State, is it not as important to secure? That's my question.
Uti, I can see you smiling.
No. we're speaking from utopia. When there's election, all roads lead to Anambra. That's where we are now. So you are just reading the police delegation. You've not read the party delegation. How many governors? Because this one you're reading now, this is the general police. You've not talked about the ones that will come with the governors, the DSS,
the delegates.
So, do you get what I mean? So this is how we do things in Nigeria.
It is where?
The question about the security situation in Anambra, don't worry, the answer is on the way, Noma.
So sticking to security, let me just quickly take my story, because I found it very interesting. It says insecurity in Plateau exaggerated, says Lalong. So he says, that's the governor, Simon Lalong of Plateau State, has said that the security challenges facing the state was exaggerated. He said Plateau State remained a very suitable business and investment hub because the government had vigorously addressed some of the major security challenges in the state by tackling their root causes. Lalong spoke at a panel discussion that's securing our future and urgency for now, which held at the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. And this was a statement by his Director of Press and Public Affairs, that's Macham Katuk. He said this. So I am just wondering, when I saw this post, I said, okay, what are the parameters? I know a lot of people that lived in Jos.
I lived in Jos.
My brother-in-law, they had to sell their property in Jos and relocated. My sister, our firstborn in my family, lived in Jos for years.
And had to
she
leave.
had to leave because, I mean, my brother, his wife had to relocate. You know, so I know so many people that have left Jos because of
the insecurity
Jos used to have
situation.
I mean, Jos has one of the best weathers ever.
It's a beautiful place. It was home.
Beautiful, peaceful place. All of a sudden, a lot of things have, changed and all of that. So when you say that a lot of these insecurity issues have been addressed from the root, please give us facts, figures, and back it up with a lot of data. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
When we come back from the break, 2023 is our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.